Welcome back, casual gardeners. I think you've seen my lawn in a few of my videos, and I hope it looks well maintained. But the fact is, I hate my lawn. Why do I hate my lawn? Well, that's what this whole video is all about. For one thing, a well-maintained lawn is a lot more work than a lot of other well-maintained landscapes. I think most people think a lawn is easier to maintain than a flower garden or a landscape that is more appropriate for a North American climate, but a lot of people think a lot of things that are wrong. While lawns have become a default for filling space, they often require more water, more fertilizer, and even more weeding than a landscape designed to better suit our environment. In fact, lawns were initially popular because they are more work to maintain. Lawns are a status symbol because by having a well-maintained lawn, you are telling people, hey, I have the time and the resources to make my lawn look like this. Can you afford that? And I think the answer is, despite our modern commitment to lawns, no. And hopefully, choosing not to maintain a lawn will become a status symbol because we're telling everyone, hey, I care enough about the environment and about my community that maybe I don't need this lawn. But look at all the nice plants that are growing. At least we're providing good habitat for wildlife with our lawns, right? None of the turf grasses we use are native to North America. Tall fescue and Kentucky bluegrass are both native to Europe, Asia, and North Africa. Since these are non-native grasses, they provide little ecological benefit. Some of our turf grasses are toxic to North American native animals. We keep our lawns mowed too short to provide habitat for all but the smallest insects. Our green, lush lawns might as well be sand dunes. So maybe we're not creating habitat for animals with our lawns, but at least we're creating a more comfortable habitat for humans, right? Turf is an ideal environment for playing either kind of football, but most of the time, most of us are not playing football. So what does a lawn do for us when we're not playing football? There are actually a bunch of surfaces we can enjoy as outdoor human habitat that are a lot easier to care for than a lawn. Lawn does best in full sun, but for half of the year at least, I'd rather not hang out in full sun because it is too warm. In addition to that, all of the fertilizers and pesticides that we apply to our lawns to maintain it as a perfect green monoculture contribute to air pollution issues around our homes. If we don't breathe all that in, there's still a strong possibility they'll make their way into our groundwater and we'll consume them that way. If we could get away with not polluting our groundwater, we're still faced with the fact that we use over 9 billion, with a B, gallons of water every year maintaining our lawns. And those are billions of gallons that we could be using for other essential functions like not smelling bad and having enough water to drink and cook with. Here in the second most arid state, the thirstiness of lawn is absolutely not okay with me. Trees are more water efficient than lawns. Even a pond, which is made of water, uses less water than a lawn if it is properly designed and maintained. But even if you're cool with wasting a lot of water, you'd probably prefer a lower air conditioning bill. While lawns are going to generate less of an urban heat island than bare dirt, they still produce a lot more warming than trees or shrubs or even perennial wildflowers. Our lawns contribute more to the urban heat island effect than a lot of other landscaping choices. So what are we supposed to do instead of lawns? Xeriscaping is ugly and hotter and even more difficult to maintain. If you're subscribed to this channel, you probably already have a thing that's better than a lawn. A garden. A well-designed and maintained garden uses less water than a lawn provides food for humans and animals, and can be comfortable to spend time in. Sometimes even more comfortable to spend time in than your lawn. Converting a part of your lawn to a garden is always a great idea. And I think a garden is always going to be more attractive to look at than just an expansive, bland, green waste. This area had no lawn because it was shaded by junk trees along the southern border of my garden. When I had to remove those trees to actually build a real fence, not the stuff that was there before, the extra sunlight that came in caused the weeds to just go absolutely nuts in the bare earth. I could have laid down sod to help control the weeds. It is our default after all, right? But instead, I've chosen to manually control the weeds, lay down a thick layer of mulch to help slow the weeds down. And I'm going to be planting in a selection of perennial shrubs and flowers that will eventually start helping me keep the weeds in check. This option will consume little or no water once everyone's had a chance to get established. It'll cool my garden off better than a lawn ever could. And it provides a bunch more habitat and food for the wildlife that I love than a lawn ever could. Despite everything I've said in this video, please don't rip out your lawn and leave the ground bare. I'm working to gradually replace parcels of my lawn as I have plans and the resources to do so. For all that our lawns suck and can do a great deal of harm in the long term, they're better than nothing. Don't feel guilty if you can't eliminate your whole lawn right away, or even if you'd like to keep some lawn, because it's just nice to walk around barefoot on occasionally. Just like any other plant we choose for our landscape, lawn can serve a function and can be an attractive part of a well-planned and maintained landscape. It just shouldn't be the default for everywhere. Please hit the like button on your way out and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here on my lawn today. I hope you have a wonderful time in your own garden.